We're live. It's the Kent Beck Scrum. We have Sam and we have Stu. Stu is here. Stu, tell us how things are going with you.
Yeah, so I've been trying to install that Google Analytics user ID.
Right.
I'd real trouble getting the user ID into the JavaScript.
Okay.
JavaScript. But I think I've done it.
Oh, well done.
But I'm not sure whether it's clean, tidy, because I'm not that used to JavaScript, and it's not something I've done before. But I think I've got it working. But I haven't.
Okay. Yeah. Do you have a pull request? Do you want to show me it? Well, what's are you? I guess the key thing is, are you blocked by anything at the moment?
Well, I've literally just solved getting the current user ID into the Google Analytics JS. I just stole a JavaScript function from online and put it on. Maybe I could screen share.
Yeah, you can. I guess let's finish the. I guess if you're not blocked, we can certainly have a look at it. But yeah, let me do my report first. Anything else on your mind? This is the main thing you're working on. You think you've got unblocked, and you'll be submitting a pull request soon, I imagine.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool. All right. Yeah, then my update is I just had the order graders meeting, where we continue to try and make slow progress towards improving the order graders and the code in the for the edX course. Yeah, I've got a little chunk of what are they called, action items to work on. Over lunch, I was working on the deep learning stuff, the neural networks. Yeah. Another minor error there. I guess I will make progress gradually. What else is going on? Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I've got lots of meetings the rest of the week. It's all a bit chaotic. It's almost not worth going into the. I guess the key thing I've got outstanding on website one is an update to the GDPR thing. We've got it so that the people can indicate their preference to receive emails or not, and that works when people sign in normally. But that data is not preserved when people sign in through GitHub and Google. And I think I have a sort of partial. So I have an approach that would make that work, but I think it's going to take about 2 or 3 hours work to do, and I don't know when I'm going to find the time to do that. So that's my sort of block. Yeah. Anyway, that's my report. But yeah, did you want to show me your code, Stu, if you've just got something working?
All right. So screen share. Just sharing the screen. So can you see that? Can you see, Google JS, Google Analytics JS.
Yep.
So that's it really. So I've had to, in the application controller, so I had to find a way of getting the current user ID into this. This might not be the optimum way of doing it. So I went to application controller and put a set user ID into the cookie. But see where it says current user ID, if current user ID, that doesn't feel right to me.
I mean, that looks perfectly reasonable to me. I mean, the current user is an indication of if there's a user checked in or not. So what is it about that looks wrong to you?
I thought it wasn't okay to have, it's like if current user, it should be, I thought it I don't know if you say it's right. Well,
I mean, you could kind of, if you want to make it look more like a question. I mean, it could be like if current. I mean, there would be like unless current user dot kind of blank question mark. You're saying that it feels odd because it feels like it should be a if you're doing an if statement, you should be using a it should be kind of ending in a question mark.
Or if current user should be in its own method, or current user should be in its own method, and it shouldn't return null.
Right. Yeah. When you say it would be in its own method, I mean, current user itself is a method, right? Yeah. So it's kind of already its own method. I mean, there's a whole bigger can of worms there about like current user, should it be able to be nil? And like some people would argue that it should be returning the null object instead of nil. It's a helper method that devise is giving us. I think people have sort of said to devise, wouldn't it be nicer if it returned a null object? That's what all the pattern people say it should do, and the devise people are kind of gone, yeah. And so we're there. I mean, you've got other alternatives. You could be putting current user dot try :id. I mean, I'd say like in the first instance for getting this working, that's kind of the least of our worries, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, okay. I'm probably worrying about the wrong things. So that sets the user ID, and then we go to Google Analytics. And I borrowed this function at the top.
Okay, and you're reading a cookie there. Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, it's certainly back in the day, I think that the user ID would be set in the cookie automatically. But I guess actually these days now, what happens is that I mean, it's an interesting question there about how devise automatically put stuff into the session. Devise storing info in the cookie. But that's a perfectly reasonable first pass hack there. I'm just wondering if the devise maybe already puts, like, if we want to get getting user ID from session.
Yeah, I did try that, but I had trouble getting the session variable from the JS file.
Yeah, no, you wouldn't have access to it there. It needs to, like, the JavaScript would need. I mean, the other way to do it would be, rather than storing it in the cookie, is you make Google Analytics JS be a dynamically generated JavaScript file, so that effectively when you write it out, you insert the user ID into it. But if this works, then we can be laughing. So, but yeah, so that looks all like a reasonable first pass. And so what when you say you think that it works, what is it that's telling you that you think makes you think that it's now working?
So if I go to localhost, and I've been basically going through so I've been logging in and logging out.
Oh yeah.
So at the moment I'm logged in. So if you go to this collect file,
yeah,
you go down, you can see that the user ID is 904, and the UID is the Google Analytics user ID.
Right.
Which corresponds to GA, this bit here. GA.
You think that one, even though you're setting a thing called user ID, you think it turns into a UID?
Yes, definitely, because I've been pressing all the pages for ages now, trying to get this.
Right, and if you check the database, 904 is the ID for your user.
I'm pretty. I haven't checked, but I'm pretty certain it is.
Why don't you check that? That would be a great thing, and then we would feel really confident about it. But so you could do it even if you're running Rails. You can just go like users / that number, and it will, if it comes up with your.
Oh yeah.
Users, yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. All right, solid.
So it's working, but yeah, because I'm not that sure about JavaScript, I'm not sure whether it's just a bit cloudy.
In what sense?
So let's see what happens when I log out there and make sure. So, oh no, I'm actually logged out now, but the cookie was still with my user ID in it.
Yeah, I mean, I think logging out is not going to remove your user ID from the session.
All right.
So yeah, but I mean, are you saying you're just a bit clouded because the page of Google Analytics.js just seems a bit mysterious?
No, the page seems all right. It's just that my knowledge of it, I'm not sure if I'm doing everything right.
Well,
Look okay to you? Does it look like?
I mean, I think it's like, what can I say? I think it's this I think might be a good approach, and the fact that it works is very positive. That we're seeing it there. Yeah, I would. I mean, there's probably ways that we can potentially clean it up. Like maybe we've got read cookie available somewhere else.
Yeah,
We might not have. But I think I wouldn't worry too much about cleaning this up in the first instance or doing it differently. I would get the pull request in as a work in progress to like to show that it like we've got the round trip. Do you know what I mean? Like the actually the data is appearing where it should appear.
Yeah.
Because I mean that's golden. I mean the clearing up and changing around can be easily done. Also in the pull request, all the things that have actually been changed will be immediately obvious. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that kind of if the if current user, yeah, there might be, but in the first instance, like if we could actually get it working, and I mean, it's one of those things where effort was put into it before, and I mean we're not even sure what value we'll end up getting from it out of Google Analytics. I mean, I guess conceivably, if somewhere in the interface it will start showing us, these are our users who are doing this, and we'll get it could be very powerful. We'll see.
Well, I did ask in the but I'm not sure if you allow people to do it to go to your Google Analytics admin page, because you have to set some stuff up there as well.
Yeah, I think I did. I thought I invited you to the Google Analytics.
All right, that's good.
It may, of course, have been the case that I saw that and thought, "Oh yes, I'll invite you to the Google Analytics," and then I totally failed to do so. But let me try and work out. But did I not ask you for your Gmail address in order to? Let's have a look. Do you remember me asking you for your Gmail address in order to give you access to Google Analytics?
Unless it's hidden in my Gmail somewhere. It might be hidden in my Gmail.
So I think you're saying you asked at some point in website 1 about access to Google Analytics.
I asked on the waffle board. That was it.
Ah, right.
I've got to get used to tagging people in it.
My brain made me think that I had seen you ask that in Slack, but yeah, it's all. I'm a year older, and it's all getting a bit confused. Anyway, it's one of those situations where rather than finding the place where that happened or whatever, if I've got your Gmail address, which you could put into the chat in the Google Hangout right now, or any other communications mechanism that's easily available to you, and I could then try and add you to the Google Analytics thing, and in the same process, I might discover that you're already added there, and we can confirm and get you. Anyway, what we could do right now is just confirm that you're able to access it.
There you go.
Right. Okay, what's this? Oh gosh. Anyway.
Did you get my email come through?
Your email just come through. Yeah. Google Analytics has just popped up a thing saying this. Data retention settings. I guess this is all again for GDPR. Here we go. Yeah, you can't see it, but let's go into the. It's not very interesting, particularly. I'm just going to go into the admin. I think this is no, it's the wrong account. I might as well share my screen for fun. so that you're not just like looking at me. There we go. Right. So we want to go into Agile Ventures, other Agile Ventures, website, here. And having done that, I guess I'm just setting them to like not expire the data. And so here now, website 1, user management there. So if your name's not in there, if not, and I want to add new users. There we go. And there we go.
Cool.
All right. I think you should be added.
Yep.
Cool. All right. Nice one. Yeah. Well, if you get stuck doing anything there, just let me know.
Yeah. Okay then.
Great stuff. I look forward to seeing the pull request.
All right. Good.
Cool. I'll say bye-bye for now then.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks for that. All right.
Welcome. Cheers, Stu. Bye for now.
Bye. Bye.